Happy Memorial Day. What's going on, family? Just wanted to catch up with everybody real quick. We memorializing our ancestors today. Every day. Memorial Day is every day. Especially when you're dealing with an ancestral altar. You communicate with them every day just like you eat every day. You give them food every day the same way. So, if you're going to celebrate Memorial Day, don't let it be a traditional thing that you do every year that your kids start to do, but let it be something that you, on this day, start making a bigger meal for your ancestors then. You know, you're going to be feeding them throughout the year. This day, next year, if you're growing spiritually, if you're growing more, set up something for you to do with your ancestors as far as a bigger meal, you know, for them. But they don't really get into all that. They just appreciate the food, the essence from the food that you've allowed them to have. Like I said, if you had somebody who was a smoker, the essence from the tobacco that you set on the altar, they appreciate that. Drinking the same way. Someone who was an avid reader, a book, you know, something who was somebody maybe an author in your family, put their book on the altar too. So with the white cloth on the wood, the white linen or cotton sheet that you put over the wood, your water, fire, incense, and the stone. And you can also use seashells for the water. But it's easy to put a glass of water on there. You can do both. So I had a testimony with an ancestor, something that happened to me where I hit the lottery from something that I did on my altar. I mean, just $2,800 I made. I came up from doing something, and I know it was from my ancestor, and so just start doing this kind of stuff. You did? You know, put something up. Take time. Just find that separate place in your house that you need to, that you feel is very special. And do something with it. Do something like an altar for your ancestors. You did. You know, you graduate and you go to higher levels in grade school. And as you're doing that in grade school, you're doing that in age, you're doing that in growth, you're doing that in information and education, you're doing that in habits, but you have to keep doing that in spirituality too. You're getting older, things are changing, everything is changing, but if you're still staying on one level in spirituality and religion, then you're gonna be, you're not gonna be full. You have never elevated your mind to another plateau of understanding. You did? So, real quick, did you all know, I was talking about semen and how it's so important to keep them oils, that cerebral spinal fluid you did, that comes out as fluid when you ejaculate as a man. But semen, that's what it's called. But do you know people in the old days when they was going to study theology, and you know the word seminary comes from that? They was going to learn how to withhold from doing that, because those oils are so important that if you don't release them so much, you can actually go to a higher level of consciousness. You can go to a higher level of consciousness if you don't use those oils up. That's what the parable of the in Matthew 25, the parable of the virgins, 5 wise and 5 foolish, and they had those oils. It wasn't talking about. See, that's what I'm saying. You can't take everything as what it. Those oils wasn't talking about literal lamps for oils for the lamps. You are the light. You are light, and you cannot overextend yourself by excreting your oils too much, which is your sperm, men and women, because it actually helps you when you retain it. But yes, seminary, from seminary, that's what they was going to learn that. But Memorial Day, let's have a good one, and let's also remember to memorialize our ancestors. You know your auntie is waiting for you to set an altar up and put a picture up on her and feed her food every day and do the other things for her. She's waiting for that, to burn ancestor. You have an uncle who's waiting for you to burn ancestor money for him that he needs. You have a father, you have a mother, you have a grandmother who loves you, but they're suffering because you won't put up an altar, because you are closed-minded. And I don't mean to say that in a bad way, but some Christians are so gone, and this is spooky. This can't be spooky to you. Your ancestors wasn't spooky when they were living. They're not going to be spooky to you when they moved on. Do something for your ancestors. They are waiting for you to do it, and you're going to see the results. Unlike some things in church, we have been doing church for so long, we haven't even seen much results. We still, come on, I don't want to even get on that, but it's time for us to grow spiritually. It's time for us to get out of religion and go to another level. You've been doing the Jonah in the well thing for years. You've been believing that, story for years. But let's graduate, folks. Peace. Have a good Memorial Day weekend. Be safe. Peace and love.